So Bob Coppedge, CEO Simplex-IT, Grant Poobah, Crotchdale Geek, all that. And we've got a lot to talk about regarding what's going on in October. But we also need to talk about what's going on, or it already went on, in September, starting with DattoCon. For those of you who've been watching us or working with us for any period of time, you know Datto is a big partner of ours, both from a business continuity disaster recovery strategy and services, but also the remote monitoring and management of our networks using their services as well as other good stuff. And so we were at their annual convention, myself and tech director Kevin Dukevich. Now, here's the catch. What ended up happening there was that one of the keynote speakers was Mark Rober. Now, Mark is actually a superior human being, which is really annoying for me to say that, not being one of that group. From the standpoint of the guy is a former NASA engineer. He is by far and away a YouTube phenomena, all that good fun stuff, but for all the right reasons, either looking at it from a technology standpoint, not only demonstrating technology, but educating people, especially kids, on it, but also in just supporting and working with good causes. Whether it is, we're talking about glitter bombs, yes, there is such a thing, or training squirrels to be much better at most things than I am, and just educating kids through really, really, really cool projects and things to do. He was the keynote, and that was absolutely fantastic. But what's a keynote without questions and answers? Datto, specifically Rob Ray, one of the big kahunas over at Datto, actually called upon none other than Kevin Dukevich. Here's Kevin going on stage to meet with Mark to oversee the Q&A.
But I'm going to introduce our moderator for this, my good friend from Simplex-IT, Kevin Dukevich. Come on up, Kevin. All right, have fun, guys.
Okay. Good to see you, man. Oh, I feel like there's some kind of...
Now you'll notice the quality of the recording and the sound is like somebody was way, way, way back in the cheap seats, because that's where I was while Kevin was up rubbing elbows with celebrities. Then I realized they were actually projecting it all on a huge screen that I could record very easily. I guess there was a reason Kevin was selected and not me.
Would you rather a longer trip to ISS or a short trip Blue Origin Hubble?
A longer trip on the ISS or the shorter trip on the Blue Origin?
Yeah.
That's the current Blue Origin rocket that looks the way it does.
Okay, maybe not that
I'll stick the ISS. I don't want to be part of like a meme, you know?
Seriously, all kidding aside, I'm glad Kevin had the opportunity to meet and talk with Mark Rober, because not only is he a fan, but his wife Sarah, as well as their two kids, are huge fans of his as well. And it's easy to see why, even from the cheap seats. But DattoCon lasted for basically 3 days, and it was 3 days of really intense on the part of Kevin and myself, working with other vendors, working with other MSPs, and really trying to make sure that what we're doing is appropriate and looking for ways to improve, whether it be through existing relationship with vendors and improving on them, or vendors who have different approaches or different technology stacks, as well as, most especially, talking with other MSPs, our peers, and trading secrets, because we're all in this together. So it's a cool conference. And what was really fun for me is immediately following DattoCon, and I mean, that thing was over for me at about 11 o'clock in the evening. I was on a plane from Washington, D.C. out to California at about 7 or 8 o'clock the following morning to go speak at Channel Focus Community Meeting, which is a great event that is about the major vendors in the IT and telecom industry. So these are basically the companies that we partner with, among others. And it was about 250 folks, and I was actually invited to take part in a panel discussion with a couple other great MSPs to talk about MSPs and how we work with our vendors and all that. And that was a really cool thing. That was up in Carlsbad, just north of San Diego. Took a couple days there, so I was almost entirely awake for that. I also want to thank Alex Farling, who's with one of our newer partners, Lifecycle Insights, to join me for a webinar we did back on the 20th, which was talking about IT Budgeting 101. If you missed that, we give some Alex gave some really great advice on budgeting for IT expenses for organizations. You can catch this, the recording of it, by clicking on this link here, or it'll be in the comments. And we also had to say goodbye, and I want to be clear, we actually knew this was probably going to happen, but our first videographer, Andrew, actually left us to head down to Austin, Texas, and we knew when he joined us early in first quarter of this year that he was probably going to be heading down to Austin before the end of the year. So all is good, all is well, but we will never speak his name again because we hate his guts. Actually, we hated his guts before he left, so that's nothing new. But I will say this, which is really surprising. I shouldn't say, well, we also brought on a new videographer. We actually found Drew's replacement within 2 weeks. And what was interesting is Haley joined us actually last Monday was her first day. And on her first day, she actually was recording, helping us record new videos, and she's already edited some of them. So literally, you talk about hit the ground running. Absolutely fantastic. And kudos to Patty and, yes, Andrew, I'm speaking his name again. I didn't think I would. For creating the framework and the structure so that Haley, with the talents that she has, was able to step right in and just keep producing the videos. So absolutely kudos to everybody involved on that side of it. I also want to mention that Simplex-IT was recognized as once again achieving recognition in the Case Weatherhead 100. I think this is the 5th or 6th year, the second where we've been actually part of the 100. The other years we didn't qualify because of the lack of history, number of years history with them. So we were considered upstarts. So those of you who know me, I actually treat the Weatherhead Awards very seriously. I think they are the best small business success recognitions in the region. So kudos to the team for achieving that. And that goes hand in hand with the MSP 501 recognition that we had earlier this year, which is more of the industry, the top industry recognition for the top 501 managed service providers in the world. And Simplex-IT, I think for the 6th time or 7th time, was in that group, although the group has changed a little bit in definition over the years. So that's the one award I take very seriously on the international level, and the one award I take very seriously on the regional level. And kudos to the team here at Simplex-IT for achieving both of those yet again. Many of you have been seeing this thing continue to grow, and most of you know that this is actually going to come off in November, assuming that we raise over $100,000 for numerous charities. There's a link here, as well as in the comments, both for a video that Adam and I, because Adam, Securities our Adam here, is also involved with his beard, and we've both made the agreement to have our beard shaved at IT Connect down in Orlando in November if we raise $100,000. Now, so far, there's about 16 of us all told. So far, we've raised around $65,000. So the beard isn't out of the dark yet. But it's well on its way. So again, link here and in the comments where you can help. And this is one of those where every little bit helps. So help me get rid of this thing. Seriously, it itches like crazy. And we've got another webinar coming up in October this month, specifically Tuesday, October 11th from 1 to 2 p.m. And we're going to be talking about cyber insurance, making sure you've got the right coverage and you're paying the right price. And cyber insurance is absolutely a critical aspect of any organization's cybersecurity strategy, because no prevention strategy is 100% effective, as much as we'd like it to be. And that's especially including strategies like denial. All right. And we're going to be working with one of our newest partners, Fifth Wall, who is an organization that specializes in cyber insurance for small and medium businesses, especially those working with managed service providers like Simplex-IT. As always, there's not going to be a sales pitch. This is going to be purely educational. And, speaking of which, we also have a special offer this month that we're not talking about until Tuesday, October 11th, somewhere between 1 and 2 p.m., which probably gives you a hint, I hope, as to what this special offer is going to be. So check out link here as well as in the comments. Check out the webinar. So it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which means that all of a sudden everybody is talking about how aware they are of cybersecurity, which is great, and I get that. What you could do, though, is you could actually go take a look at our Learning Center at simplex-it.com/learning-center. Yes, we'll have a link in the comments. And actually see all the videos that we've been doing this year about cybersecurity. Because for us, it's cybersecurity year. Catchy, huh? By the way, next year will be cybersecurity year. So Simplex-IT is actually going to be at not one, but two manufacturing shows in the Northeast Ohio area in October. First of all, from 18 to 20 October, we're going to be at the Manufacturing and Technology Show, which is over at the Huntington Convention Center. But we're also going to be at the Design to Part Show, which is October 26th and 7th at the John S. Knight Center. Both of these trade shows, we're going to have booths there because we want to talk with manufacturing organizations about how we can help really make you guys more successful to your clients and to your employees, and honestly to your vendors as well. So all the stakeholders end up being happy. Yay! And this is not only from a productivity standpoint, but from a service delivery standpoint, and of course from a security standpoint, especially those organizations who are looking to either get into or continue to do work with the Department of Defense for CMMC requirements. So we would love to see you there. We're going to have, of course, some raffles, some giveaways, all of that good fun stuff. And so make sure you come by and say howdy. So we have other things going on as well. We've got several instances where our Simplex-IT over on the support side are going to be taking on some training, especially in the Azure side, as well as some on the cybersecurity side as well, because training is an ongoing, never-ending thing. Also, I'll be heading out to Philadelphia to talk, basically be a keynote speaker at a get-together for MSPs, and I'll also be heading out to Nashville because CompTIA, which is the largest non-vendor IT support organization pretty much in the world, I'm on one of their planning committees, and we're having our quarterly get-together on that. And then we've got other stuff going on as well, but this video is long enough. Bottom line is Q4 is underway. Let's get moving, and we would love to, as always, talk to you about your organization's IT needs and how we can help. So take it easy. See you next month.